All righty. We'll get some more phone calls coming up. He's Nick Wright, the popular co-host on Fox Sports 1, First Things First, and had a great Sunday there with the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Congratulations, Nick.
Thank you, Dan, but this does put a lot of pressure on me now into 2023. I got to tell you.
How come?
Well, as I'm sure you know, I was, recently named the most accurate sports pundit of 2022. And now when 2023 starts off with, me nailing the entirety of the playoffs, it's just, you try to keep this run going. I know many people in the industry fell in love with the Buffalo Bills. They had a brief flirtation with the Miami Dolphins. The Eagles were the better team. The Bengals were the better team. And little old Nick Wright said, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the team that has clearly the best quarterback we've ever seen and the best coach currently coaching, that team shouldn't be an underdog in back-to-back playoff games, one at home and one on a neutral site. And because of that, and the fact that it's my hometown team as well, and, I'm going to be in the parade tomorrow. It's just a lot going on here, Dan, but I made time for you, my friend.
Are you going to be in the parade?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Why would I not be? Don't be so. Me and Paul Rudd, I would assume, are the two most famous Kansas Cityans now that Harry Truman's no longer with us. I'm not sure who else is in the discussion.
Eric Stone Street.
Well, of course. Well, Eric, I thought, I should have mentioned that because Eric Stone Street's a friend. He is also in the parade, or at least involved in the festivities. I did not mean to not mention Eric. I was just talking to Eric the other day. We're in Kansas City, the Kansas City elite group chat. Is what we're in. Yeah.
So not a lot of
Brett Beach is there.
Not a lot of people.
Of us.
Yeah, not a lot of people on that call, but that's okay.
That's all we need. What more do we need?
Yeah.
I don't need. What's your hometown, Dan?
Well, I'm from Cincinnati.
From Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Oh, most famous Cincinnatians. Jerry Springer's got you. Sorry.
Yeah. I pay cash, not check. By the way, happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you. To you as well. We can talk about whatever you want, but just make sure we have 2 minutes at some point in this for me to tell you a great story about your long-lost great producer, McLovin. Okay?
Okay. Well, we can do it now.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do it now.
Okay.
So Friday night at the Super Bowl, I'm at the casino, as I'm often there, with my wife, who her best friend in the world, Nicole, and the guy who produces my radio show, or my TV shows, Hubbard. And there's a big party going on, Shaq's Funhouse. And we were already planning to go to the Drake's party later in the evening, but it was early. And I was like, why don't we stop by Shaq's thing? And they're like, we don't have tickets. And I'm like, let's figure out, see what's what. And as I'm walking up, I see McLovin. And he says, hi. And I'm like, hey, do you need tickets to this thing? He's like, yeah, I think you do, but I have red carpet entry. And I didn't say this out loud, but I'm like, you have red carpet entry? Then I think I'm going to be okay. And so I'm like, where is it? And he's like, it's around back here. He's like, you want to just follow me? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to follow you, buddy. And he walks over. He's with somebody. He's like, yeah, everybody knows his real name. He's like, Perloff too. They're like, okay, they give him wristbands. And I just walk up right after, and I'm like, Nick Wright, 4. And they're like, you're not on the list. And I'm like, and I just kind of gestured. I'm like, yeah, but aren't I? And they were like, and somebody was like, okay, go ahead. and so I'm waiting then to walk the red carpet. And Perloff was wearing like a jacket. And when I saw him, but he has now taken the jacket off and is doing like bodybuilder poses on the red carpet. And I'm like, this is a hell of an act I've got to follow. And then, yeah, we're on there. Yeah, it's a true story.
You needed McLovin to get you into Shaq's party?
Well, once I heard McLovin had red carpet entry, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to be able to swing this one. I think I'm going to show up and it's going to be okay. And so, yeah, I did that. That's a true story.
Did you go to the game?
No, I did not. I can't watch that football game around Eagles fans. Are you kidding me? I watched that in my house, chain smoking cigarettes by myself, nervous wreck. And then when the game's over, I say there was never a doubt. But I was scared, man.
Well,
it would have been terrible being around Eagles fans.
I think you did say that they're going to blow them out. Didn't you? Aren't you quoted as saying
I predicted 34-20, Dan. And you know what? even the most accurate sports pundit of 2022, according to Reuters, has some misses. And I did not think Jalen Hurts had that game in him.
Yeah.
He comes out of that game looking as good as any Super Bowl losing quarterback I can remember. The fact that he had an unforced error that directly led to 7 points, and nobody is like using that against him. Everyone's like, nope, he was awesome. Shows you how great he was. But where I was correct in my analysis was that this Eagles defense was not an all-time great defense. It was not I don't care what the sack numbers were, it's not the 85 Bears. They played in the regular season 4 quality starting quarterbacks. 3 of those 4 scored 33 plus on them. And I just knew the analogy I used, and I don't know if you ever did this when, you've lived in the Northeast for a while. When it turns to winter, I wait as long as I possibly can before I wear a heavy coat. That way, when it gets really cold, I've kind of built up some tolerance. It's like, oh, okay, now the coat will make me feel good. I don't feel like the Eagles had built up any tolerance to good quarterbacking. They just played Daniel Jones and Davis Webb and Brock Purdy with one arm. And so when Patrick Mahomes comes out there, they have no answers to that test. And so I thought the Chiefs would be able to score. I wasn't. And the one other thing I'll say about the game is because the Chiefs lost a Super Bowl because they couldn't block the other team's front, I thought it was very unlikely that with 2 years to prepare, if that were to happen again, that Mahomes, Bieniemy, and Reed would lose another Super Bowl for the same reason. Now, they almost lost the Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts was just awesome. I mean, he was just awesome, and I give him a ton of credit. But, yeah, so the Eagles' offense did better than I thought they would.
Yeah, the defense was terrible with the Eagles and got confused on, 2 easy touchdown passes with Mahomes, which to me was mind-baffling. It was like mind-boggling that Slay got lost there, and all of a sudden these guys are wide open, and it's not Kelsey who's wide open. So that to me was kind of alarming there. They don't get to Mahomes at all. And I go back to the play with Hurts. It should have been 27-7 at halftime. It felt like the Eagles had dominated that much. And the fact that they went into halftime only up 10, and I say only up 10 because that's nothing for Mahomes, that's where I thought, you know what? The Chiefs can win this one.
So the Chiefs were plus 410 on the live line at halftime. And that to me was insanity, especially because they were getting the ball to start the second half. Now, maybe part of that was people thought Mahomes was really injured and if Mahomes doesn't come back out. But the Mahomes double-digit comebacks now, Dan, the numbers here are jarring. So Mahomes in his career, regular season and postseason, in games when he's down 10 or more at some point, wins 58% of the time.
Yeah.
No, Tom Brady's second best at 39%. Mahomes' career playoff double-digit comebacks. He now has 4. The only person who has more is Brady with 6. Mahomes has played in 14 playoff games. Brady 48. And then lastly, in all of NFL history, there have been 4 double-digit second half Super Bowl comebacks. 2 by Brady, 2 by Mahomes. That's the list. So I actually think he gets more dangerous when he's trailing. I thought Sirianni coached a hell of a game, and I thought he was smart that he stayed true to himself on the fourth down stuff. But there are 2 nits that I would pick if I were an Eagles fan. One is the end of the first half, when they did get the ball back up 7, they seemed to kind of slow roll that whole drive, just happy to get a field goal as opposed to try to go for a touchdown. And then in the fourth quarter, when they were down 1, they had a 4th and 2. Now it was on their own 33-yard line. I get that that's scary, but the Chiefs had such success on that defense. I feel like the mindset there has to be field position does not matter. Keeping the ball is what matters. They punted on that 4th and 2, and that's when Tony hit the big punt return, and they got it.
He's Nick Wright, First Things First co-host. You can see him every afternoon on Fox Sports 1. If you're the Eagles, do you sign up, Hurts?
Yeah, to me, that game right there, I had major questions. I no longer do. I thought my co-hosts on the show mocked me because a lot of my analysis of young quarterbacks is I go to what they did before they got to the NFL. What was their recruiting profile out of high school? What did they do in college? And one of my questions for Hurts was, if he faces adversity in the Super Bowl, do the ghosts of collegiate playoff benchings past come back and haunt him? And the fact that he did have that fumble 6 and then responded with his arm and his legs, he's the best quote in the league. He's like, that actually matters in this regard. Like, he seems truly leadership, motivational, inspirational, A+. He is incredibly tough. And he is, to me, shown more growth as a passer in the last year than, and I'm not trying to just compare black quarterback to black quarterback, but Lamar, who is a dynamic runner immediately, to me, Jalen has grown more as a passer in 1 year than I've seen from Lamar in 5. And so, yeah, I'd sign him up. I'd absolutely sign him up, particularly in that conference where the other best quarterbacks in football, all of them are in the other conference.
Yeah, and that's why you look at the NFC, and it sounds strange to say it, the Eagles might have a better chance of getting back to the Super Bowl because they don't have to worry about anybody in the NFC other than San Francisco, whereas the Chiefs in the AFC, I mean,
have to worry about no one. Stop it. See, you're going to give more bulletin board material, Dan. They're going to yell at you at the parade. More people that doubted them. They got to worry about nobody. They won 75 games in 5 years. They host the AFC Championship game is officially being renamed the Arrowhead Invitational. They've never lost in the AFC playoffs in regulation. Their worst season since Mahomes has taken over is 12 wins, a Pro Bowl, and an overtime AFC Championship game loss. They have no competition.
They could easily be 0-3 in the Super Bowl. They could easily be 0-3 in the Super Bowl.
Stop that. Because the guy that Mahomes is chasing, they could easily have 3 Super Bowl wins and could easily have 10.
Or 9 or 10. Yes, I will make that. It's a discussion. It's not a counterpoint. Sure. Mahomes could be 0-3, and Brady could have lost 3 of those Super Bowls that he won. Or he could have won two more or 3.
And Mahomes also could be 5 years in having gone to 5 Super Bowls. His first year, he lost in overtime when they didn't get the ball, and unlike those crybabies in Buffalo,
and D-Ford offside.
Make him that happens.
I know.
Give me a break.
We're just
Give me a break. There's no competition.
We're discussing.
Who's
more annoying, you or Jackson Mahomes?
Okay. Well, first of all, please don't talk about, royalty's brother like that. I don't think that's fair. He's a civilian. It's just because he has a bigger TikTok following than you. I hint a little jealousy there,
I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to start dancing. dancing.
Okay, well, I'd love to see that. You and McLovin at Shaq's party next year. A little dance-off. I'm not annoying. I'm just always correct on this.
Wait, what, Seton? What?
Well, I've just noticed this trend happening with Chiefs fans the last 48 hours or something, that they're all very angry and very defensive after winning the Super Bowl, where it's like, dog, what about something nice for us? Why is it only about the officiating? Why is that the topic today? Why can't you say good things about us? It's like, you guys just won. Chill out.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the officiating for a moment, because I do think, as much as this pains me to say, that the officiating will loom large over this game, because you saw a clear catch, fumble, touchdown taken off the board for the Chiefs. Oh, nobody's talking about that. Oh, it's all rigged for the Chiefs, except for, the touchdown. They called a touchdown and then took away. Oh, what's the call everyone's complaining about? Let me check my notes here. Oh, the one that in real time the referee and the quarterback saw, and post-game, the dude who had the flag thrown on him, what did he say? He was like, yes, I absolutely did it.
Why are you so angry?
Well, I'm not angry.
Celebrate.
I'm celebrating.
You know what? They overturned the Devontae Smith catch, which was wrong. There was a helmet-to-helmet against Devontae Smith in the first quarter, and nobody called that. Like, if you want to get, into the minutia here, and yes, they could have easily given the Chiefs a touchdown on that return. Absolutely.
Well, they did, and then they took it away.
Yeah, but
no one's complaining.
I have no problem with that. You're sounding like you're an Eagles fan here.
No, I'm not an Eagles
Just
fan.
celebrate.
You get me a little riled up. You didn't bring me on here to celebrate. You want me to wave some pom-poms?
I was letting you take a victory lap. You don't sound like you can make it all the way around the track. Like you're yelling at everybody in the stands.
Smoked a lot of cigarettes this weekend, so I don't know if I can. But
congratulations.
Well, thank you, Dan.
Won. I mean, Nate Burleson actually said the exact score. I know you're the most accurate pundit. Nate Burleson said Chiefs 38-35, but you want to take a victory lap? Go ahead. You're wrong with that. Okay. Just letting you know.
What did Hoda Cobb say the score was? She had it. We're bringing in television news people now.
I'm sorry. Did Nate Burleson? How many games have you played in the NFL?
Oh, you're playing that card.
I have to for Nate Burleson. Nate Burleson, on behalf of Nate Burleson.
Okay,
listen, he made the call. You're questioning his integrity because he works in news?
I'm not questioning anyone's integrity.
Did, and you questioned Hoda. How dare you question? Not on my watch.
I asked you,
Don't do Savannah Guthrie, because then it's go time.
Okay, I was gonna ask you who Gayle King had in the game. I'm not certain. I just don't know what we're doing here. Nate, that was a great job by Nate. 38-35. That's a great job by Nate.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't know if Nate's a gambler, but I looked. He could have gotten 260-1 on that exact score prediction. I hope he put a few shekels on it. It's a great job by Nate. I like him. One of the best looking people in sports television.
Yes, he is.
True story.
Yes, he is. That's it. That's all I got.
We're done?
I wanted you to just take a victory lap, and then you got defensive, and then
Well, I just, You know
what? When you're great, you don't have to get defensive.
See?
You don't.
It's all this little.
You don't have to get
tweaking.
Defensive. Just ask me. When you're great, you don't have to get defensive.
I'm not defensive, Dan.
How's your wife? Is it a good day today, Valentine's Day?
She is still in Phoenix.
Ooh.
And she is now en route to Kansas City to meet me for the parade.
Awesome.
Where I'm going. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll send her your regards.
Yes. Yes.
It is odd now that you say this. Maybe, and I hate to do this, but maybe I do need to do some introspection, because I do get a lot angrier when you question the greatness of the Chiefs than when you openly hit on my wife for the 6th straight show. Maybe I do have some unresolved issues there. Maybe it's the ghosts of Lynn Elliott and the no punt game and blowing a 28-point lead to Andrew Luck and having Marcus Mariota throw a touchdown pass to himself to beat us in the playoffs. That has made me, very defensive of this dynastic run we now have in Kansas
Who do you
City.
love more, Mahomes or your wife?
Okay, that's unfair.
You didn't answer.
They're different types of love.
Okay. You still didn't answer, but I get it.
It's different types of love.
Okay. Well, safe travels to Kansas City.
I will. Thank you.
And once again, congratulations. And I look forward to having dinner with you again.
Okay. Absolutely. Soon. Schedule now free. Okay. So you and
I would love to. Soon. I would love to.
All right.
You and me?
Just us.
Okay.
Just us, pal.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, Nick.
Goodbye, Dan.
That's Nick Wright.
We're so good at ruining his day.
That's Nick Wright.
Then you openly hit on my wife for the 6th show in a row. I love that dude, man. I really do.
How can he have a bad day? His Chiefs just won.